Hello everyone, hello teacher. Today we are going to analyze the interview Pregnant and Addicted to J from a psychoanalytic perspective. In this presentation, we will discuss TJ's language, her relationship with motherhood, childhood trauma, addiction, and the concept of ego and super ego. Addiction and the
TJ frequently uses filler expressions such as I don't know, I guess, and you know what I mean. These repeated phrases may reflect insecurity, confusion, and emotional discomfort. From a psychoanalytic perspective, the constant use of I don't know can be understood as a defense mechanism where the ego avoids facing painful emotions or difficult realities. Her nonverbal communication is also important. She often looks down, rocks her body, and plays with her lighter while speaking. These these behaviors may suggest anxiety, emotional distress, and a need to calm herself. In psychoanalysis, the body can express emotions that are difficult to put into words. She explains that her mother struggled with addiction and later died from overdose. She also mentions that as a child, she had to take care of her mother and younger brother. This situation may reflect parentification, where a child takes on responsibilities that normally belong to a parent. TJ says, I wanted to be a good mom and have a good mom. This phrase shows her deep emotional need for love, care, and stability. At the same time, her mother's doubts about her ability to be a good mother may have become an internal critical voice affecting her self esteem and confidence. TJ explains
From a
that her
psychoanalytic
mother
perspective, today's current situation may be connected to an unresolved childhood trauma. For its concept, repetition compulsion suggests that people sometimes unconsciously repeat painful experience for their past. They do have surrounded by addiction, instability, and emotional suffering, and now she seems to be revealing similar patterns in her own life. Her addiction may work as way to escape emotional pain and feel the emotional emptiness left by the absence of a stable maternal figure during her childhood. From a psychoanalytic perspective, this delay in going to rehabilitation can be explained through the psychoanalytic concept of resistance. Even though addiction is harmful, it can also become a psychological defense that help persons avoid the pain of emotions. For TJ, drugs may function as you turn up trauma, sadness, and anxiety. Going to rehab means facing those emotionally without the protection of the substance. In this sense, her resistance to treatment may reflect fear, emotional vulnerability, and difficulty confronting her past experience.
Let's remember that when we are talking about the physical structure proposed by Freud, the ID, ego, and superego, we are talking about desires, reality, and morality. The first sense we observe is a pregnant woman smoking despite her condition. Throughout the interview, she does not let go of the cigarette of the lighter, knowing that this is causing immense harm to both herself and her baby. Let's hear that the ideas reflect not only in her addiction, but in her inside desire to have and keep her baby regardless of her economic or social condition. To an extent, her desires are completely oppositive to one another. Taking this into account, a part of the interview when the ego entered the scene is when she repeatedly mentioned her wish to rehabilitate so she won't lose her child. which is why she joins the 13 program. She is aware of her reality and the future that awaits her son if she doesn't change her habits. As for the superego, we see the evidence when the interviews speak of the pity of sorrow for the child. We see interview lower her gaze and resigned herself to agreeing with him respond with a simple yes. She became very reflective of her reality as homeless woman facing multiple addictions. This case illustrates the internal battle of the human psyche. The ID seeks immediate gratification, the ego attempts to navigate a harsh reality, and the superego carries the weight of guilt and social judgment. It reminds us that even with the darkness of addiction, there is a consequent struggle to fight apart toward responsibility. To conclude, let us take several aspects into account. First, did you repeat her parents' pattern of addiction, having been the mother of her our mother? She does not have a healthy model of care, which creates tragic clash between her desire to be a good mother and her destructive reality. As a second aspect, we see how Gigi's identity is fragmented by drugs. Her ego is so weak that she cannot control her impulses and depends entirely on others to save her. As a final aspect, although she feels guilt and shame when recognizing that her situation is harmful to the baby, her addiction is stronger. This keeps her in a state of resignation and absolute passivity. To
To
conclude, let
conclude,
us